everybody, welcome to our Google Plus Hangout. I'm here with James, and we're going to help you with your internet marketing questions. Just waiting for other people to join us, and we will begin shortly.
Hey Amber, I'm here. I don't know if anybody else has joined us.
Hello.
This is James.
So, we've prepared a nice PowerPoint presentation for everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to run it from my end, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, just let me know when you want me to start, and I'll figure out how to do a share on it.
We're good to go. It's the green icon below the chat.
Hey, nice glasses.
Well, thank you.
Just don't move your head too fast, because otherwise your hat falls off. So it's...
Wouldn't be the first time I lost my hat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of strange, because as you turn your head, the glasses stay under your eyes, but the hat sort of doesn't work so well. Interesting. I guess eye tracking is easier than forehead tracking or something. How long do you want to give people to see if anybody's going to join us?
We can wait another couple minutes.
Okay.
If you want, or we can start now.
Well, I mean, given that it's an experiment, I'm okay. We can always rerun it later on if people want, or have a private chat with somebody.
True.
As much as anything, I'm just curious to see how it works. Okay. Just let me try sharing the screen at least while we're doing this, and we'll see how that goes. So are you seeing that now?
Yeah.
Amber?
Yep.
Okay.
We're good. Okay.
So it seems to work pretty well. I'm not sure how I unshared the screen, but now that I've shared the screen, at least we got that much.
Or you just click the same button again?
Yeah, just it makes the button disappear because it's a full screen sort of deal. Oh, I guess just Alt-Tab suffices. So. Okay, anytime you want me to start, then just let me know.
You're good to go.
Good to go? All right. So let's see what we get out of this. All right. Okay, well, welcome everybody, anybody, whoever's listening out there. This is our sort of attempt at our Google Hangout, so it's a learning experience for us as well as for you. And we thought we'd just do a little general discussion about marketing yourself online and developing a strategic approach to online marketing, which is something that we, try to do for our clients and do a lot of. So hopefully we can give you some good tips. I'm going to keep it pretty high level because we don't really know who is watching this, but we certainly invite, if you've got any questions or whatever at the end, please put them out to us, or if you're watching this later, please contact us. All right, so let's see if this is going to work. So first of all, choose what you want to achieve. It's always important to actually choose what your objectives are, and by that, I guess the first question I'd ask is why do you do online marketing? And I think probably the obvious answer is you want to grow your business and extend your marketing reach. And, I'm using a pretty general definition of business here. So if you're a not-for-profit or a charity or whatever, it may just simply be growing your customer base, or your contact base or your donor base or whatever. But essentially, whatever your constituents, customers, stakeholders, etc. are. What is online marketing? Well, we'll use a simple definition, and it's a way of reaching customers and building relationships on the internet. So, unlike advertising in a newspaper or putting up a billboard beside a highway or TV or radio or any of the traditional means, online marketing is basically anything that you can use that is actually taking use of the internet. So, it would include email, websites, social media. And all the variations of things that we've used to there, which would include videos, YouTube videos, all that sort of stuff. How do we do it? And by do it, I'm talking right now about the sort of develop a strategic approach. So first of all, we develop a framework, and we pick the tools to meet your needs. And of course, this is done in the context of already having chosen what you want to achieve, which may be something like, I want to double my number of subscribers. I want to get 30% more people coming to my website. I want to develop better qualified leads, any number of things like that. But when you've done that, then you've got some idea as to what the best approach, and certainly we or other good marketing firms can help you with developing a framework and picking what tools you want to do. So what? And the so what section is basically sort of like, why would I want to do that? Online marketing is a cost-effective way of creating a powerful and valuable online presence. It's pretty much the neatest thing that's ever been developed in terms of marketing, because not only is it incredibly cost-effective if you do it right way, but it gives you all kinds of information and feedback and so forth that you can use to measure the effectiveness of each and every technique, campaign, page on your website, email message you send out, and so forth. So it gives you an enormous amount of feedback to tell you what's working, what's not, what your customers are responding to, what people are opening, reading, etc. All of which is pretty amazing, because contrast that to taking an ad out in a newspaper or a Yellow Pages ad, where you really have no idea, how many people look at it, how many react to it, how many look at it 2 or 3 times, etc., etc.
Right, and this is a good point, because most people understand the importance of the online world, and majority of businesses do have a website, but where they often overlook is planning their strategy and how to market it. So that's where we come in.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to move on to the next slide now. Studying your online marketing strategy is sort of the second point here. Why? Well, obviously you need to choose the most appropriate and effective tools and methods for your customer and your stakeholder base. If that might be, for example, reaching them by website, you might want to be sending a lot of emails. It really depends where you are, who you're trying to reach, what your budget is, how many people you're trying to reach, and so forth. But for the most part, at Guaranteed SEO, we use any and all of the techniques, and we sort of mix and match them to what the customer's needs are, and often those needs change from time to time. So you may start out with building a website, marketing the website, getting some leads and traffic coming in from that. As you get qualified leads and so forth, you may decide that you want to broaden your reach, so you add like a pay-per-click or AdWords campaign. When that starts working, you may decide that you want to stay in touch with the people that you've now gotten to contact you through your website. So you start doing some direct marketing with email and stuff like that. So again, it's not like any one thing works for everybody, or that any one thing will always work and all the time. You really want to be changing and adapting, and having an overall strategic view that sort of has reason behind it as to why you're doing things and in what order, and what you're trying to achieve, and examining the feedback you're getting through your analytics to see which tools are working the best for you. What is your customer responding to? So the marketing strategy is really your roadmap of techniques and tools that you'll deploy, and how you're going to maximize your ROC. And that's a little concept that we're sort of coining here. We've been doing that in conjunction with a company called Rubicon Intelligence. And ROC is basically the return on customer. So if you look at it, it's not just any one sale with your customer, but it's the value of having an ongoing long-term relationship with a customer. And this is sort of something that big companies like Amazon and so forth have long been aware of, but really hasn't been something that was easy for a small to medium enterprise to access because of the availability of tools and skill sets and so forth. Now it's becoming something that we can reach for a fairly small business, and it has a pretty significant impact when you start thinking about what is a customer worth to you over 10, 15 years of repeat business. And put that in the context, you could be a dentist, you could be an auto body shop, you could be a hotel. But getting somebody to come back to your business, to refer people to your business and so forth, provides a return on customer over a long term, which is vastly in excess of any one sale or event. How do you go about doing an online strategy? Well, you start with doing an inventory of where you're at. Do you have a website? Is your website good? Is it up to date? Is it effectively designed and so forth? Are you marketing your website? Is your marketing working? How are you marketing your website? Are you using good SEO, or is it all basically pay-per-click? Are you using an appropriate mixture of tools and techniques? Are you using analytics? You've got to have metrics that you can measure and determine success, and ideally you've got milestones, which may be places where you implement new strategies, new techniques and so forth, based on having achieved some set out goals and results, or perhaps not having achieved those results and realizing that you've got to change the game and do something different. And again, so what is, of course, if you do this right, you turn your marketing from something that's fairly passive, I built it, hope you guys show up, please buy my stuff, to something that's very directed and is a significant competitive advantage for your business. And this is exactly what you want to do, because online, you can be a very small 2, 3, 4 person business and be competing with giants very successfully. We've got customers that are literally one-man shops, which compete for business successfully with giants like IKEA and Sears and stuff like that. So it's certainly possible if you play the game properly.
And that's a great advantage too. A lot of local businesses struggle with brand awareness and building that trust with their customer base. So the online world gives them more exposure than they would ever have, not having a big brand behind it.
And you can be just as good looking as a website and look just as impressive as any of the big guys, and quite often even more so. So that whole visual appearance thing, there's the old expression somebody coined, nobody knows how big you are online, and it's kind of true. Likewise, nobody knows how small you are, so you can go out there and compete independent of size. It all comes down to the quality of your offerings, how good your message is, and executing on your business. Obviously, having sold somebody something, you've got to deliver it properly and make sure that they're happy with your service and products. So it's all about starting out right, hitting the fundamentals. Why? Because if you do this, it maximizes the number and quality of your relationships with customers, stakeholders, whoever it is that you're trying to reach. And by this, we're talking about essentially doing, at the very beginning, whether it's your email template, whether it's your website, your social media, whatever it is, the content, the look, the feel, and the design has got to be appropriately tailored and, targeted at those people that you want to attract. Not much point in doing a lot of work with paid per-click advertising or good SEO or anything else if people show up at your site, look at it, and go, that's horrible, or that doesn't talk to me, I'm out of here. So this is really a very key thing, which is start out right, get the fundamentals down, and most of the other stuff will fall out from there. How? Well, there's lots of rules, known effective rules for design and so forth. You can obviously hire professionals that have proven track records doing this sort of thing. We certainly recommend that in the same way that we're capable of doing our own accounting, but we hire professionals to do accounting for us because they're better at it, they're more efficient, they know what they're doing. It's pretty much the same thing if you're hiring somebody to build or market your website. You know your business best. You certainly have to be involved in the process, but at the same time, you're probably not nearly as good at building and maintaining websites with current technology, state-of-the-art techniques, the right plugins, and all that sort of stuff, or as good, at marketing them as somebody that does it full-time, all day, every day, year in, year out, and keeps up on what's happening with Google search algorithms and, things like new legislation that comes in Canada, July 1st, 2014, there's a new bill called Bill C-28, which is the Canadian anti-spam legislation that's coming in, and it's going to have a big impact on, any kind of direct marketing effort to Canadians or from Canada to other countries, from other countries to Canada. So, if that's your bread and butter and you are doing that every day, then both what's coming down the pipeline, how it's going to impact you or your customers, and how to deal with it. On the other hand, if it's just something that you jump into every once in a while and don't keep aware of these things, you can get broadsided, and at least in the case of this coming legislation, it's got some pretty severe fines and even potential of doing jail time if you violate the rules. So what? Well, effective design and content makes everything else possible. It's the starting point, the foundation of which you're building your marketing campaign on. And again, if it's done right, it provides you with a significant competitive advantage.
And from our SEO perspective, good design is also part of Google's ranking algorithm. They take note if it's up to date, if it's responsive, how fast your website loads. And oftentimes, if it's not designed with a good usability, it can lead to high bounce rates, and you can put in all the effort in the world, but if people can't navigate through your site correctly, it could cost you business. So it's important to have a professional review your.
Yeah, absolutely. That's quite correct. If you don't put in the effort and all the details aren't done right, then you can be losing an awful lot of opportunity through some pretty minor things. Okay, so after you've built the the fundamentals of whether it's great Facebook page, your Google Plus page, your pictogram page, whatever it is, obviously your web page. Now it's time to start building your audience, and this is all about visibility. And in this particular case, what it amounts to is getting eyeballs on your content equals opportunity. People are looking at your stuff, they're watching your videos, they're listening to your podcasts, they're looking at your graphics and so forth. You've got their attention, you're engaging them, you've got a chance to build a relationship with them, to develop trust and respect with them. And these are all touch points which certainly if you're in a commercial type environment where you are trying to sell products or services or get people to come into your store or whatever the case is, this is all sort of part and parcel of having those many touch points that is needed to secure a trusted relationship with someone. What is, basically what we call creating top-of-mind awareness. When somebody starts to think about whatever your product or service offering is, you want to be the people that are appearing in their mind's eye as, oh yeah, I got to call, XYZ company because I need some of this. And that really applies, whether you're a dentist, a spa, a high-tech firm that's selling some kind of gadget or whatever. If you're basically owning the top of mind awareness, then you're likely to get the hit on your website or get the phone call or get the traffic to your actual physical location. How do you do this? How do you build visibility? Well, Amber is actually the real expert on a lot of this stuff, but we're keeping it fairly high level, so we'll just use these things. Search engine optimization, SEO, basically means making sure that your sites and your online properties can be found in the search engine. So if somebody is looking for you by typing in a phrase, or these days even speaking into a search engine, they can, hopefully find your stuff on the first, worst case second page, because, let's face it, nobody's really looking if you're not on the first or second page when they actually search for something. PPC is also known as pay-per-click or AdWords, and that's a similar type of thing to SEO. It's based on keywords, but in this case you're actually paying for bits of real estate on people's search engine results, and it, typically speaking, doesn't have quite the same effectiveness as good SEO, but it does offer the advantage that it starts working the day you turn it on. You don't have to climb up the ranks, so it can be very useful as a tactical tool for developing quick results if you need to get things happening now. Marketing automation is something that we do, which is once you've got leads and traffic coming to some of your sites, you actually want to be able to figure out who's coming, who's looking at your site, being able to send information both to your sales team, and possibly if people are giving you things like their email coordinates and stuff like that, you can actually start sending them information. You can know when people come back to your site, what pages they actually look like, and so forth. And this is all invaluable information, and being able to identify how people are responding to your material, if they're likely to be buyers, and so forth. Predictive marketing is a new field. It's a very new field. In fact, there's only one or two companies that we know that are actually building the technology for this, but we think it's a very promising and powerful field, which we're starting to talk to with some of our clients. And essentially, it's if you think about things like e-flyers and stuff, right now pretty much everybody gets the same flyer from Future Shop or Best Buy or Walmart or whatever. It's broken down maybe to a level of a postal code. Some of the more sophisticated vendors might do things like gender or age segmentation, but that's about as far as people go. And yet you and I are completely different in terms of what our interests might be, even if we're the exact same age, living in the same neighborhood, and so forth. You may be very athletic and enjoy skiing. I might enjoy water sports and perhaps spend more time watching television. Whatever the case might be. A system which enables you to actually identify people's interests and have the system automatically respond and make product suggestions and so forth. That's what predictive marketing is. It's coming, it's here, and it's going to be very powerful. Email, of course, has been around since pretty much the beginning of the internet, and it's still one of the most effective ways of getting to your customer, getting your message out there, and getting top of mind awareness. And content marketing is, in some sense, it's a bit of a buzzword type thing, but what they're really talking about is getting your message, your product, your content, be it a web page or your YouTube video or whatever the case is, out in front of people. And of course, the holy grail of content marketing is to, get a Justin Bieber sort of video that goes viral and 1 billion people watch it and start buying your stuff. But between not doing anything and having 100 million eyeballs looking at whatever it is you've got, there's a lot of things that you can accomplish that are pretty useful. The so what is basically what it boils down to is relevant traffic equals revenue, or new members or charitable donations or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Amber, you got anything you'd like to add to that slide?
Well, just would like to discuss the importance of social media. A lot of people, can sort of think, oh, you spend your day on Facebook, it's kind of a joke. And what they don't realize is with backlinks becoming less and less valuable in the search engines, Google in particular is starting to look at social signals as a ranking factor, because they can tell that your profile is a real person, and therefore if you like something or share it with your friends, it must have added value. So we definitely encourage adding your social media links to your website so everyone can find you. a great way to network. For business owners, they don't have to be technical. They can get on there and have regular conversations with their customers and review their analytics to see which social platforms are bringing them the most business to their site.
Yep. Okay. Good point. We didn't talk very much about social media and all this, but it is increasingly an important way of being in communication with your customers, building relationships with them, and also in a lot of cases with certain social media such as Google Plus and so forth, has a pretty significant impact on your SEO and your PPC and some other stuff. So, all right. So we're going to move on to our sort of last slide, which is sort of leveraging the potential of it all. And obviously the reason that you want to leverage the potential of online marketing is that this is a very powerful new paradigm which is based on interactive engagement. Again, it's not, push stuff out, put a television commercial up and hope your Nielsen ratings are good. And, it's not based on big numbers. It's based on actually being able to get out there and engage a customer right down to one-on-one. I mean, probably if you've used some good websites recently, particularly commercial ones, you've even had the experience of when you go in there, somebody, a little box pops up and somebody says, hey, can I help you? So you've got text chat right on websites now, and you can interact live and have your questions asked, answered, and so forth. Great for customer support, tech support, stuff like that. But also can be a very useful selling tool. Certainly, if you go to the Guaranteed SEO site, you can see that we use it, and we've found it something that we really like. So interactive engagement through various means and media enables, again, this whole return on customer concept to be maximized. So dynamic optimizing, targeting, and relationship or revenue building is basically what it's all about. So the dynamic nature of the internet means that you can have two-way stuff. The ability to analyze and figure out who's looking at your site or to tune your message and so forth allows you to do targeting, very precisely figure out who you want to engage, who your, real customer is. The example, I was looking at earlier today was the fact that, you can have a lot of engagement from people, they may not be your customers. And the example there is, 51% of the people that like the Ferrari Facebook site are kids under 14, I believe. There are probably a few of them that have got enough money to buy a Ferrari, but they certainly can't drive it. And, I think you could argue that, therefore, from Ferrari's perspective, they may be doing some great future brand building and so forth, but they'd be kidding themselves if they thought that a large number of their customers were actually accurately targeted through what they're putting up there. But again, it's top of mind awareness, and let's face it, some of those kids are, if dad or mom win the lottery, they're probably getting a lot of pressure to buy a Ferrari. So lots of ways of getting there. How you leverage the potential, of course, is you measure everything, you analyze the results, you refine the results, and you retarget your information. It's always a cycle. If you picture this never ends. 5-10 years ago, we used to build a website, we'd do some SEO optimization, put up the keywords, and the website would go on and, with relatively little else going on, tune-ups every now and then, it would grow and get more traffic, and sort of like you planted a little tree and you gave it a bit of water every now and then and it grew. Now the environment is much more competitive, much more technical. People are much more demanding. The whole sort of experience of what people expect from websites and how they're going to behave and interact with them is totally changed, and it's changing literally every few months. Now Google comes out with a new update to their algorithm and stuff, which changes the game, sometimes quite significantly. And they're coming out with these things. I think there's been like 24 of them in the last 2 years, so it's almost monthly. So it's no longer a static game. You've got to be engaged in it, and clearly having the ability to measure stuff. And if you've got the skill set, or you can hire the skill set from somebody like Guaranteed SEO, you can analyze, figure out what people are doing, what they're responding to, and you can refine it and go from there. And you can grow your business as a result of this. You can have competitive advantage that people that aren't doing this, your competitors, don't have. And, at the bottom of all this is basically it maximizes your return on customer. And once again, return on customer is the concept of sort of the lifetime value of a customer. It's no longer about, getting a single sale online and, gee, I hope you come back some point in time. It's about maintaining, building, leveraging the relationship. So when somebody comes, your first task is obviously to convert them into a customer. Your second task is to fulfill their expectations as a customer. And your third task is basically to keep them engaged and coming back and recommending their friends and buying, new stuff from you and so forth. Doing that basically means that you get the most bang for your buck out of your marketing dollar, and hopefully your business grows and becomes very successful. All right. So, Amber, anything to add on this one?
Can I steal the screen and discuss quick SEO reports?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just, you grab it back.
All right. Let's see what I'm up to here. So here's a screenshot.
Yeah, so sorry, just what Amber's doing here is she's showing you an analytics tool that's, it's available for free. This is Google Analytics. You may find this a little bit complicated, but this is available to you, and it is something that we provide to customers and work with customers in various ways with.
Exactly. So for any of you that has added Google Analytics to your website, you can see all these tabs on the left. And if you open a tab, you can actually get quite in detail. Now, most business owners have better things to do than click through their analytics and try to decipher all these numbers, because it can be quite overwhelming. And you just want to see how your website's doing, clear and concise. So what Guaranteed SEO has done is developed a quick SEO reports tool. And you can sign up here at quickseoreports.com. We give you a 30-day free trial. And just a screenshot of the dashboard here. Once you've established your account, which is also quick and easy, you just click New Report. It loads. You can select your date range, whether you want last month's data or custom. You can compare to previous month or, again, custom, however you prefer. And you can even do a secondary comparison to how you were doing last year. And that's not all. We've built in all of these core features from Google Analytics, the most important ones for tracking your online marketing. You can select the ones you wish and then click Generate Report. And this is why we call it Quick SEO Reports. So let that load.
And basically what's happening is that you can see that little wheel thing down by Generate Reports. So it's talking with Google and various other sources of information, and now the report's been generated, and it's up on screen.
And voila! Here you have all the Google Analytics information that you need to worry about. You have your overall traffic with comparison to the previous month here. And right below, you've got your last year's comparison. So in one glance, you can tell if you've improved, or if you see red everywhere, you've got more work to do. And I'll just quickly go through all of this. You can do the breakdown per traffic source. I'll give you how you're doing, and if you hire an agency such as ourselves, we will comment and give recommendations to further clarify all of these numbers. And the great thing about this tool is once you send the link, you can email it out, you can share it, and you can access it from anywhere on the web. So it's not a Word document, you have to email it to yourself. You just click on the link and you have your stats anywhere you are. Very handy, and we use it ourselves here. So we definitely promote this for monitoring how your website is performing.
Yeah, it's great. It's definitely a very handy tool, and we've certainly found that in terms of both the saving of valuable time, you don't really want your your SEO, either internal or whether you're hiring them, spending huge amounts of time doing cut and paste from Excel. You want them spending their, using their heads to figure out what all the information means, doing analysis and figuring out how to implement fixes and stuff. So that's the secret behind the sort of the quick SEO reports tool is it gets you to actionable information and stops you having to do sort of data mining. So.
Yeah, I remember when I first started SEO and I had to do the screenshots and copy paste it and type all the statistics out by hand, and you could spend 2 hours just on one report. And we found ourselves now we can get it done way faster now. It saves us a lot of time. We're able to work on the website, which is what matters most. Not so busy copy pasting screenshots all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure. Does anybody actually join us in this one or not?
Mm-mm. Nope.
All right. Well, in that case,
they will come.
yeah. Well, my suggestion would be is let's just wrap it up, and at least we can put it up on YouTube and see what happens.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to try and figure out how to sign out of here and leave it to you. So thanks, Amber. Appreciate you setting this up, and we'll try it again next week.
Yeah, thank you, James, and thank you everyone else watching this on YouTube. If you have any questions about your online marketing, please visit guaranteedseo.com. Ciao!